Bulls are in control across most markets today. Let us look at where the momentum is strongest. Welcome to MTRS_Market Pulse. Here is your complete global indices roundup for July 7th. Global equities are pushing higher. Equity markets are responding to reports that Trump's tariffs, Fed minutes, rumbles Bitcoin by what's moving markets. Let us go region by region across the major global indices. Starting with the Americas session. S&P 500 edged higher plus 0.72% to $7,537.43. Equity markets are responding to reports that European stocks rally to cap best week since May, markets wrap. NASDAQ 100 edged higher plus 1.26% to $29,698. Equity markets are responding to reports that S&P 500, NASDAQ set for higher open as chip shares recover, the mighty 790 KFGO. Dow Jones is trading higher by plus 0.29%, at $53,056. Investor sentiment is being shaped by S&P 500, NASDAQ close lower on tech weakness but recover after hours on strong micron earnings, Moo, Avgo, Google in focus, StockTwits. Starting with the Europe session. DAX edged higher plus 0.93% to $25,818. The move follows reports that oil prices opened lower as OPEC boosted production and traffic through the Strait of Hormuz resumed. FTSE 100 is trading lower by minus 0.25%, at $10,652. Equity markets are responding to reports that Trump's tariffs, Fed minutes, rumbles Bitcoin by what's moving markets. Starting with the Asia session. Nikkei 225 edged higher plus 1.46% to $69,738. The move in the dollar reflects reports that European stocks rally to cap best week since May, markets wrap. Hang Seng is up plus 1.28%, trading at $23,350. Investor sentiment is being shaped by S&P 500, NASDAQ close lower on tech weakness but recover after hours on strong micron earnings, Moo, Avgo, Google in focus, StockTwits. Kospi surged plus 5.27% to $8,051.33 in a significant session. Equity markets are responding to reports that S&P 500, NASDAQ set for higher open as chip shares recover, the mighty 790 KFGO. Nifty 50 is up plus 1.05%, trading at $24,430. Equity markets are responding to reports that European stocks rally to cap best week since May, markets wrap. Sensex is up plus 1.01%, trading at $78,285. Equity markets are responding to reports that European stocks rally to cap best week since May, markets wrap. ASX 200 edged higher plus 1.22% to $8,831. This comes as S&P 500, NASDAQ rise as oil drops and micron earnings loom, QZ.com, adding pressure to energy markets. Now, a look at some of India's most active stocks in the news today. HDFC Bank is trading higher by plus 0.65%, at 801.05 Indian rupees. Equity markets are responding to reports that JP Morgan Chase & Company, NYSE JPM, trading 1% higher on analyst upgrade. Net interest margin is under some pressure from deposit cost competition, but the liability franchise, the cheapest deposit base in private banking, is the structural moat. Any RBI commentary on the bank's operational constraints being lifted would be a significant re-rating catalyst. SBI dipped minus 1.32% to 1,037.70 Indian rupees. Equity markets are responding to reports that JP Morgan Chase & Company, NYSE JPM, trading 1% higher on analyst upgrade. Return on equity improvement, now approaching 15%, is the re-rating story that has driven the stock higher. Government infrastructure capex lending is a low-risk, high-volume growth engine. Any NPA reversal or write-back announcement would be a positive. TCS edged higher plus 1.23% to 2,093.50 Indian rupees. Equity markets are responding to reports that S&P 500, NASDAQ set for higher open as chip shares recover, the mighty 790 KFGO. The 26 to 28% EBIT margin band has been consistently delivered. The market wants to see whether AI-driven productivity allows margin expansion beyond the upper end of that range. Attrition stabilization is a positive signal on demand confidence. AI services deal conversions are the emerging growth driver. Now let us look at what is driving these moves at the macro level. Geopolitical risks remain elevated. The move follows reports that oil prices opened lower as OPEC boosted production and traffic through the Strait of Hormuz resumed. This is keeping traders cautious and supporting flows into defensive assets. Central bank policy is at the forefront of investor minds. Equity markets are responding to reports that Trump's tariffs, Fed minutes, rumbles Bitcoin by what's moving markets. Rate expectations remain a key driver for growth and technology stocks, which are highly sensitive to discount rate assumptions. Investor sentiment is being shaped by S&P 500, NASDAQ close lower on tech weakness but recover after hours on strong micron earnings, Moo, Avgo, Google in focus, StockTwits. And looking at how some of the biggest global names are trading today. Rocket Lab made a dramatic move today, plunged -7.34% to $93.09. Investor sentiment is being shaped by Rocket Lab falls 7%, AST SpaceMobile drops 5%, Intuitive Machines and SpaceX slip 3% as space stocks pull back. 24/7 Wall ST Neutron medium lift rocket development is the key valuation catalyst. A successful first launch would dramatically expand the addressable market and justify a meaningful re-rating. Space Systems revenue from satellite components and manufacturing is a steady, often overlooked earnings base. Watch for any Neutron program update or new DoD launch contract. TSMC made a dramatic move today, surged plus 4.08% to $451.89. Equity markets are responding to reports that learn all crypto topics. FEMEX Academy, FEMEX. AI chip demand has created a demand floor that insulates TSMC from the consumer electronics cycle. High-NA EUV ramp at N2 and beyond represents a technology advantage no competitor can replicate for years. Watch the next earnings call for any commentary on 2026 capacity allocation. Goldman Sachs surged plus 3.36% to $1,055.29 in a significant session. Equity markets are responding to reports that Goldman Sachs valuation looks stretched despite record deal-making. Investing.com South Africa. The asset and wealth management pivot is lowering earnings volatility. Private credit exposure is a growth area but carries liquidity risk in stress. Near term, the IB deal calendar is the stock driver. Watch for any mega IPO or M&A advisory win. Let us give you our near-term view on the Kospi. From a momentum perspective, the next key resistance for Kospi sits around $8,534.41. A sustained break above that level could attract further institutional buying. The main risk to the upside scenario is a shift in macro conditions or central bank tone. This is our analytical view. Always do your own research. To summarize, 12 indices in the green, 1 in the red today. Risk-on conditions dominate the global equity landscape. Before we wrap up, here is your watch list for the sessions ahead. Keep a close eye on central bank speakers and rate commentary, and key economic data releases. Any one of these could be the catalyst that defines the next major directional move. Independent market coverage, no subscription fees, no paywalls. If this analysis saved you time and helped you think more clearly about the market, please like the video. It costs you nothing and it directly funds more content like this. Subscribe for daily coverage across indices, stocks, commodities, forex, and crypto. Tell us in the comments, what are you watching most closely right now? That is all from MTRS_Market Pulse for today. All analysis is for informational and educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Always consult a qualified financial advisor. Trade safe and we will see you in the next one. That is your global indices roundup from MTRS_Market Pulse. Subscribe for daily updates across every major market.